Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Sheen and today we're doing something really fun. I have my editor with me, ex-editor because he's quit. But hi Kian.
Hello Sheen, how you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good, thanks.
You know, we've had a very interesting, experience of working together because every time I've mentioned that my editor is for teen, people are very, very surprised. So I thought, why not just have a little Q&A to get this out there. So why don't we start from the beginning? I have a list of questions that people sent us, but I think I'll start by explaining how we started working together. So sure. I think I started the channel in April 2021, and then a few months after that, like 3-4 months after that, I decided that it is now time to outsource editing. And I put out a form on Instagram. I got many, I say many, so gassed. I got like 60, 70 applications, and out of those, there were only 3 I remember that I thought were worth it. And I sent them the same task, and one of them came back so perfect. And I was like, oh, okay, found my editor. And then I said, let's jump on a quick call. And turns out it was you, Kian, who's only 14. And I was like, oh, great. But yeah, and then we've been working together since then for more than a year now, when you think about it. But unfortunately, he's now decided that, you know, my channel is too small for him. But what was your experience, Kian? How did you go about applying? Everyone has that question for you.
Yeah, so originally it was through Ali. So for anyone who doesn't know, Ali was Sheen's roommate it was in Cambridge, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. It was.
So I followed Ali on YouTube and I followed him on Instagram. And then as soon as Sheen started a channel, Ali posted on his Instagram story saying, go follow her. So I thought I'd give her a follow. And then this one random day, she posted that she needs an editor. I thought, I've got a bit of editing skills, I'll give it a crack. And the rest is history.
So let's start with, how did you actually get into editing?
It's always been a curiosity. I remember watching videos of movies and clips and thinking, wow, how did they do that? So I'd always researched editing, but I never really knew how to do it. I never got any of the programs or messed about with it. I found a software called DaVinci Resolve, which to any new editors, it's a free software, and if you want to get into it, I'd highly recommend it. So I had to mess about with that, and I thought, I've got a bit of a knack for this. So as soon as, I think I've got this this MacBook that I'm speaking to you on right now.
Yeah.
It was 2 years ago now. And the first thing I did was download the Final Cut Pro trial. And I had to mess about with it. I thought, this is good. I like this. So I used that trial to edit the first video for Sheen. And then as soon as...
No way, I did not know that.
Yeah. So I used the trial version, which I only had like 90 days on to edit the first video for Sheen. And then as soon as I figured out that, oh my God, I've got a job now, I thought, I've got to buy it. I've got to buy Final Cut Pro. That's how it started, to be honest. It just pure curiosity.
So was it, I remember at some point you were thinking about launching a YouTube channel as well. Is that still in the works? Is that a plan?
Yeah, so I did think about it. Yet at the moment, because since working with you, to be honest, Sheen, I've just noticed how much dedication you need to a YouTube channel. It's not like you can just plant a seed, water it every so often and it sort of grows. You need full dedication. So, and with school at the moment, it just doesn't seem right at the moment, given the commitments I have. But never say never. Never
say never. I mean, you do a lot of interesting things on the side, so why don't you share that? You're in theatre and all of that.
Yeah, so at the moment I'm doing the school production. We're doing School of Rock, which we did before COVID happened. Oh God, I shouldn't say that word. But yeah, we're doing School of Rock, and I've been lucky enough to land the lead role in it, which is going really well.
Ooh.
Thank you very much. I also play the drums, which is another hobby of mine. And I'm also quite into researching and doing tech and nerd. There you go. That's nerd. But
that's why we get along, you know, we're both nerds. Although, I have to say, Kian taught me so much about tech. I didn't know anything. He's been very patient with me about tech. Even now, before we filmed, he was like, what frame rate are you filming at? I was like, what does that mean? So even though you're not my editor anymore, I will still come to you with my tech questions. Just be prepared.
No problem.
So you touched on this briefly, but one of the questions I got a lot from many people is, a lot of people are trying to get into editing, and obviously you've successfully done that at such a young age. So you mentioned one of the apps, but what advice do you have for people who want to start editing?
I would say, like with anything, start small. Don't go into it thinking, I've got to make money, because you'll end up getting too big for your boots. So start small, like I did, just having a mess about with things. I'd set my phone up, have a film of something and go, oh, I could clone myself in that. And so messing about with it, and then do some unpaid work. I was very fortunate with the fact that, if I'm being completely honest with all you editors, this is my first ever job. So
wow.
I got very, very, very lucky. But if you're looking for work, do some unpaid work. And once you build up that portfolio and you can create a show reel showcasing all that you've done, then either email some YouTubers and say, hey, I'm a freelance video editor, could it be of service to you? Or you can go on websites, I know, what's it called now? It's Fiverr. And you can set up an account on that, and people will come to you for your editing services. So it all depends on what you want. Do you want to work on little projects for different people, or do you want to work with just one person? It depends what you'd like. And then have fun with it. That's
for sure.
If you're not having fun, then it's not worth it.
100%. And I think, honestly, for me, what made me choose Kian as my editor was that he's done so much research of my channel, and he's incorporated things on the first edit that I usually do to all my videos, which made it clear that, he's interested, he's serious. So that's a big I think, tip in terms of how to, when you're approaching creators in terms of what they're looking for in an editor and how to win them over. That's a big one. So well done on that. So what has been your experience like working with me, when the channel was growing until where it is now?
It's been a nightmare. Honestly. Since day one, she is non-stop. I'm joking. No, it's been a delight. I've loved working with Sheen. She's amazing. She treats me very well. And she's a good communicator. And that's one thing probably throughout this video that I'll keep saying is communicate. Because if you're not communicating, you're not working together. And Sheen's a brilliant communicator. So I've just loved it from day one.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's what's worked really well for us, just communicating especially, because the first few videos, both of us don't know how each other work. So, just really making it clear what I want, what I did not like, and what I really liked. And I think that has worked brilliant for us. Even vlogs, I was super surprised that the vlogs went so smoothly with us, because when I'm vlogging, I know the story I have in my head, and in a particular clip, I know which part I wanted. So I thought, how will someone else be able to replicate that? But we managed to make it work. Sometimes, it didn't. There were some things to change, but 95% of the time it was great. So that's been amazing. But in terms of, now you're in school and you do all of this band practice, theatre. How did you manage editing as well on the side of all of this?
That is something that I had to figure out on my own, to be honest, because no one's ever going to do it for me, because it's my life at the end of the day. So I would just say find a balance of things. Don't sign up for things that you don't think you're going to fit into your schedule. And it was about prioritising your time. I sound like a hypocrite here, but don't procrastinate, because you'll get to the night before a video when it has to come out and you're going, I haven't done it, what am I doing? Which has happened sometimes. But no, definitely prioritise your time, and as I say, find a balance. That's definitely key, because if the balance tips in one way or another, something's going to suffer. And you don't want that to be schoolwork at all. And just make sure that if you're like me and if you're quite young, make sure your schoolwork comes first, because the second that's lacking, everything else, it's like a domino effect, everything else is affected.
Of course. And I don't know if they know, but what did your friends and family think about you editing for a YouTuber?
My parents were obviously very proud. and they still watch every single video. Obviously, I don't know if you guys know, but Sheen has got another editor at the moment, and they'll watch those videos and go, "Did you edit this one?" Okay, that's not me. But yeah, I'm always giving them tutorials.
Lose them now. I'm gonna lose them. Please tell them to keep watching.
No, they will. And I mean, I watch the videos as well.
Oh, thank you.
Because some of them do resonate with me. Bedtime procrastination.
Yeah, all of us.
Yeah. But no, they're very proud. And my friends, they're always going, "How's Sheen doing?" And it's like, it's going well. And they'll show the channel sometimes and go, "That's the one," yeah. But no, they're happy too.
I remember one time one of your friends commented on one of the videos being like, "Oh, you've got a great editor." And I was like, "Oh, this is so sweet."
Yeah. No, I remember that now. It's coming back to me. Yeah.
That's really cool. But in terms, okay, what about tips for me? What tips do you have for the channel? Or the videos or the editing?
That's a good question. I'd say always be adaptable.
Okay.
Because you've got that new editor who's not me and has his own. I'm guessing is it a man?
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's probably got his own style of editing, and I've seen it, and it's quite. He's got infographics, and because I've had a little watch. Just obviously always be adaptable, and that's the great thing that we've done in the past is, if I've got an idea, I've said it to you, and we've worked together on it. Or if you've got an idea, I'll do my best to try and make that happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, just be adaptable, and like I've come back to, communication. Always communicate.
Agreed. And okay, another question that I have, I don't think anybody asked this, but that's because I've worked with you, is, the one time I was super impressed was the first time you invoiced me, and I don't know if you remember, but I asked you for the template of your invoice because I've never ever taken the time to create a proper invoice, and I was super impressed that you created an invoice and sent it to me. And you're always on top of these things, like the invoice, you have the proper invoice number, the names and everything, and even when it came to creating a handover document, you prepared one, which was super helpful, by the way. The editor said it was really helpful. But so, how did you learn all of this at such a young age? Me, at my old age, I still don't know any of these things.
So, I have a financial advisor, also known as my dad.
No, you don't. I was going to feel really bad just now.
No, my dad helps a lot. He's the one who helped me create an invoice, and ever since I've just used that template and I've edited it. But he's the one that's helped me a lot. I can definitely say my dad in terms of the monetary side of things, because I've never had a job before. I don't know what works with money. He's definitely helped a lot, my dad. So I can put all that credit to him, to be honest. But in the future, now I'll know how to create an invoice. So.
Oh yeah, exactly. And you should say thanks to your dad. I now have a template for an invoice.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, definitely. He's helped me a lot. And so has my mum. She's just been so supportive, and it will always be, "Have you done Sheen, Kian? Have you finished the video?"
Oh!
So it'll be, no, definitely. My parents, they're amazing.
I love it. That explains why you've never been late, really. I've had other people keeping track. Oh my God. So what other questions do we have? Do you have any advice for YouTubers who are looking for editors? Like how to assess whether someone is going to be a good editor or not?
Yeah, I would say first and foremost is never judge a book by its cover. And that's one thing that I'm so grateful of with Sheen, is that I showed her the video first. It was like a sample sort of video she sent me. I edited that video first and sent it over to her. And then, after we'd done a bit of communication and we went on a call, then it was, I'm 13, it was like, because I'm 14 now, but it's crazy to think that Sheen's given me the opportunity. She didn't have to, but she saw the video first and then she saw how old I was. And she just gave me a chance, which, I couldn't have asked for more. But yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. Look at the work first before you look at the person. Because your opinions will get in the way of what's actually created. And as well, I'm going to say this again and again and again, communicate. And I know personally, an editor, now that I've had this communication with Sheen, doesn't like to be left in the dark sometimes. Sometimes it's nice to have creative freedom, but sometimes you just need that bit of guidance on what they want and the image that they have for their video. So definitely communicate, don't judge a book by its cover, and be adaptable as well.
Oh, very useful. Wow, this is actually really good advice, you know. And while we're on this, somebody asked, you know, if there's like a lesson. I mean, I don't like that. I mean, I've learned a lot from you in terms of tech. You know, every piece of tech I bought is because you've told me to buy it, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah.
Including this mic. And I've learned a lot from you in terms of tech. But and honestly, I've learned a lot from you in terms of just being proactive and taking initiatives at this young age. At your age, I could barely struggle to even walk down a straight line, you know, and look at you, like being an entrepreneur at that age.
I struggle with walking too. It's the condition you get when you sit down editing all the time.
Not surprised. But is there anything that you think you have learned from me?
One thing definitely springs to mind, and that's perseverance. I've seen you go from Cambridge and Oxford times to over in Dubai, all the way from Mauritius. So it's like, and I've just learnt sort of, if you want to do something, go do it. You know, there's no one there stopping you really. There's no one saying you can't cross this border. You're in Dubai now. You're making it successful. So definitely perseverance.